Alright, so I'm gonna be beating Bonelab as only the PolyBank avatar. Now this is the avatar that has it's just like bones kind of. Not skeleton, but like bones. It's just like a stick figure with arms and stuff like that and that you can control. This challenge was not easy. He's very weak. Like guns were really useful in here and blades, stuff like that. I could not have beat this if it wasn't for guns and stuff like that. But this challenge is very hard. It took me roughly 2 hours to beat the game. Cause I already knew how to beat it. But yeah. Uh I kinda messed up with my mic. So sometimes you're gonna be able to hear me while my gameplay and sometimes you start by hanging myself on the news so I'm able to start. After that I descend down into the pits and grab a light source. In here, I learned just how weak the PolyBank is while struggling to destroy these planks, basically. But after that, I make my way down and actually grab the collectible. Make my way down, killing all the skeletons until I get to this room where you're supposed to bring over something to flip the lever, but instead I just cheese it and jump up and push the lever even though you weren't supposed to do that. After that, I brutally kill a crablet until making over to get my first gun so I can be able to shoot things. I make my way through a level and then eventually be coming up to this room. I kill a few guards so I can be able to get to the second level, which is Bonelab Hub. Now, I've already completed Bonelab Hub, so I kind of just, skipped the first puzzle because I didn't have to do it anymore since I completed it. Bonelab Hub was pretty lame other than the first puzzle, so I kind of just went through the level, made my way through until I got to the third level, which is Long Run. I went through the level, about 5 minutes through the level, I had to do this part where there's sentry guns and guards up there. So I have to avoid the sentry guns and kill the guards. Now this puzzle was the first area where I had my first death, and this was one of the more tricky parts of the game. And exactly like uh Bone Lab Hub, uh other than that, Long Run was just a bunch of puzzles. I got a new gun, the MK18, and I just made my way onto Mine Dive, which is where I had a little bit of a problem and had to skip the level a bit. Big anomaly is where the level slash game started to pick up the pace and getting more interesting than before. First of all, I had to make my way through a bunch of guards, which is where I died twice. After that, I had to kill a bunch of nobodies to get a key in basically this doorway-ish thing. I don't know how to call it. Before putting my way into the door so I can into the vents. I crawl through the vents, and when I make my way out, I find someone named Jimmy, and he basically tells me to go collect avatars. He pushes me into the elevator and sends me to the first level where I can collect avatars, which is Street Puncher. He changed me into the super buff strong avatar, but I have to stick with the PolyBank, so PolyBank, whatever you want to call it. I think I called it PolyBank. But I had to switch with it because, I had to stick with the avatar. This does not count since they're forced about 6 times. And so basically, what I had to do here is that you basically had to kill a bunch of cops, but I had a dagger, so it's really easy. You had to go through the level of killing a bunch of cops until I came across a level, aka the next level, which is called Sprint Bridge. Now, at first, it's easy, you just gotta go across the first bridge, then you get to the first puzzle. Now, this is basically where you have to drop this weight to get able to go to the next bridge. But there's a problem. When you're going away, you have trouble going up. So I just came out with the solution. I don't even do it properly, and I just try to grab myself up, which somehow worked. After I made my way through the rest of the level, I died twice more because I kept falling. And then after that, I went on to the next level. This level is called Magma Gate. Now, I died twice on, not twice, once. Now, this is only because one of the skeletons wouldn't die. So, And since I'm weak, I can't throw them off like you normally do it. So my game was glitched, and the skeleton just kept killing me. So I died once, but after that, I got it straight after. This level is moon base. Now, this is a casual level, you can't really die in it. It's supposed to give you a feel to the utility gun. Now, I just, made my best loadout that I can possibly think of. And then, since I'm so weak, I have to use my guns to control myself in midair with still somewhat of a struggle. That's how weak the PolyBank is. After that, it's on to, I'm pretty sure, the second to last avatar, which basically this one is Monoway, like Monoway Race or something like that. I can't remember the name at the moment. But basically, you're in a go kart and you have to drive around the track. You get used to physics, but at first it's really hard to control. But after that, you move on to Pillar Climb. And this one is the only one of these I've had actual trouble on. I didn't die once, but since I have a small character, there's some areas where I was struggling to get up and over. But after that, I learned that you can grab onto the torches, so I use those to my advantage before finishing it by destroying the orb early, actually, with my gun. Now, after all that's back, you meet back up with Jimmy, and he sends you to a key back to the base so you can open up the gate to the right of you and destroy the Boneworks crate in there. And that's where it leads you to Ascent. Now, this is the longest level. Basically, at first, you just have to roll some spheres into the places to unlock certain areas. But later, you start getting into the more complicated areas where you just have to make your way, killing guards, going past things. But eventually, this part takes a while. Now, eventually, you'll make your way to this tower room. Now, you have to climb the tower to be able to basically get to the next area. Now, this tower is long and I died once at it. And I'm just realizing how much time I died. I did not think I died this much. Basically, after you go through all the guards, knock over the sentries, you find yourself coming into this room. Now, this room basically leads you to a bunch of guards shooting at nobodies. You need to kill the guards and then kill the nobodies and then kill the sage. After you kill the sage, you will head out to the room next to you. Now, you have to head out to a certain room. So, make your way to final room, which is where you ascend into back to home base. Now, you find yourself in Fantasy Arena and Fantasy Land, whatever it's called, I forget. And basically, what you have to do is that you have to kill all the peasants and everyone there. Now, this isn't easy. This actually is quite hard. And I died twice here. One of the two were because, actually both of them were because I fell in a pit because my character was too light. Eventually, after you go through, you grab onto Jimmy's finger and he'll take you into his car. And this is basically where he and you and I just would that weirdly drive off, and that's when the credits start playing. Now, you can see the excitement behind me when I finish this. Holy shit. Talk up before chaos. Freaking God. I can go to bed now. Not actually, it's like 10 minutes, but... Now, I left out so much of the game because I want it to be a 10-minute video. You guys can try the game out. I got lended Bonelab. This is not my copy. I had it just for this video, and I'll have it for other videos. But I know I left out so much in the game. I wish I could add more in it, but I want it to be around 10-minute videos so it's not too long. And also just so it doesn't spoil the game. Now, you can't really see the excitement in my reaction to the bad mics or the captions, and honestly, I don't get too excited. I kind of just have like a relief in my voice here, but I was finally able to do it, and that's what matters.